Hi everyone and welcome. This is just a very short guidance I would like to give for this present and also upcoming, and when I say upcoming, tomorrow and the rest of the week, difficult transits that can really cause a lot of disruption in our lives. First of all, these disruptions, because let's look at the aspects. Here we have Uranus conjunct the North Node, but this is not all that special. This is a long-term aspect which influences us for a good number of weeks, so to speak, but this is strongly activated by Mars squaring Saturn. Okay, Mars is not squaring Saturn yet in a very tight way, so their square, their dance of tension is just beginning and getting stronger and perfecting. But Saturn is the structures in our lives and also our self-discipline, our self-control in a rough way, generally speaking, very generally. And Mars is our current reaction, current will, current mood, whatever it is that we are investing energy into right now, and the two clash. So you can imagine that this is gonna be a difficult one. Frustration, patience, needing to be patient. Patient once again after so very many occasions. But all of this basically really needs our self-discipline, because otherwise this Uranus and Mars, both of them squaring Saturn, is gonna really strike us very hard. This can basically immediately start our day with strong sense of anxiety, a strong sense of inner void, either in the stomach and the gut, or in the heart area, or simply in the head area, depending, because Uranus is the nervous system, and this is where it's really active right now. And we're also sensing the very disruptive solar activity that's been ongoing for some weeks now, even some months, even some years, better said, but this doesn't help either. So anxiety is in the air. And one of the best ways to fight anxiety is, what does Taurus do? Uranus in Taurus, Mars in Taurus, North Node in Taurus, and Aquarius is a fellow fixed sign, so it squares. Saturn squares this. Well, first of all, we have to say that Taurus is our five senses, and that means our basic needs. If you're hungry, if you're agitated, if you're sleepy, if you're tired, if you're lonely, if you're basically consumed or burned out, well, you can imagine that your decisions, your reactions, how you perceive things are not going to be very exact. They're not going to be very precise. They're not going to be very objective. They're not going to be, reality oriented. They're going to be very subjectively oriented. So have your basic needs at least as close to met possible. Then the other thing is, this is where events at this time can determine our long-term futures. So regardless of how angry, triggered, activated, even if this in the most positive sense, bravery, courage, I'm sure of myself, regardless of how ready you feel, still give yourself that 30 seconds to look at the situation, yourself, your reaction, whatever it is that it's going on, from the perspective of the observer. Don't get immersed into it. Allow yourself this 30 seconds at least. And the other thing is, for some people, nature, groundedness, barefoot on the grass, or physically being in nature grounds you and it helps the anxiety. Now for other people, deep connection with the self, regardless of nature or where, is the key to de-stressing our nervous system, so to speak. And of course there is Neptune, and Neptune trining Mars and all of that. So spirituality, prayer, and this honesty, this sense of innocence and innocent trust within our higher self, within our unconscious, within the universe, the divine, whatever it is, that true innocent childlike trust. does attract a lot of good energy, a lot of guidance, and a lot of soothing frequency, if that makes sense. Because, at this time, everything is really a frequency. So if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling a little bit of a big void within you, if you're feeling lost, if you're feeling, like you just don't know what to do anymore, you don't even know what your future is gonna look like, it's okay. It's absolutely okay, because chances are October, or better said, generally this autumn, is gonna be a moment when a lot of we will know things on all levels. Our personal stuff, of course, but we will know. So that means moment of decision, that means alignment, when we're actually allowed to do it, whatever it is that we need to do, perfect our new beginnings, perfect our future plans, time of action, but also empowered action. So if you don't know anything right now, it's not a big deal, because chances are this is how it kind of supposed to be. But the perspective of the observer, of the outsider, that is a big, big saving grace right now. And having your five senses, balanced out, your needs met, you also feeling at least decent, like a decent human being, even in an earthly sense, not just in spirit, not just in mind. So alignment and self-discipline. But at the same time, self-discipline, if you're a slave driver to yourself, that's not self-discipline. That's excess. So discipline. Saturn with discipline. And at the same time, Saturn, our life, our everyday routines, our modus vivendi, our life structures, regardless from which sense. Because Aquarius is first of all that which is in our awareness, in our long-term awareness. So that which also the unconscious kind of gets to get aware of, if that makes sense. So that's Saturn. So that is going to be triggered, especially at this full moon. Tomorrow, after tomorrow. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, going into next week comfortably. So we can expect these surprises, this unexpected twist and turn of events, but it's okay. We can manage, because we have the spiritual power pouring into us freely, that Neptune trine, but we also have the past, 2020 and onwards. We know ourselves in a different way, so we will make different choices. So we must have the self-trust, but those 30 seconds where we do look at ourselves from an objective perspective, from the eagle's perch, so to speak, and just we check in, better said, if everything is disciplined, if everything is okay, and if our action, our reaction, our choice, what we speak, what we do, Mars, well, if that Mars is basically what we truly want in our hearts of hearts, if that is truly representative of us and who we are as everything, soul, human being, identity, ego. So we check in if our reaction, choices, action, etc., Mars, is truly us and symbolic of us. Because you can imagine, soon this Mars will conjunct Algol, and that will trigger, activate powerfully the eclipse points. So yes, we must get ready for a lot of triggers, but also profound life change when we do something, when we slay the Medusa, when we overcome our greatest fear, our greatest obstacle, greatest shame, etc., when our life truly changes. So of course you're anxious about that, because all of us are going to be heroes very soon. The pursuit, freeing ourselves. So yes, the anxiety does make this sense that we are faced with really strong karmic moments for all of us, individually and collectively, very, very soon in this autumn. So of course we are preparing ourselves, but this is preparation. This is not doom and gloom. So thank you so much for listening, and I do hope this helps.